Well. The Saints pick is in, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are on the clock. And I'm terrified. Terrified! I don't like how this... Well, it depends on what you were looking for. I wanted Jordan Davis. If you watched my mock draft, I wanted Jordan Davis. He went to the Eagles. Now he is dead to me. But this wide receiver run and these wide receiver trades that have been going around have left every quarterback on the board for the Steelers. And I mentioned that I didn't want them trading up for a quarterback. But now here's their pick of the litter. If that's where they're going to go, I don't necessarily want them to go there. But, I mean, I guess it could be worse. The scenarios of the Steelers trading a first-round pick next year to move up with the Vikings or to move up to the Panthers or to move up to the Jets, thankfully, have not materialized. And here we are with the Steelers on the clock, with the Saints pick in to see. Now, could the Saints take a quarterback? They could. I don't think they will, because I don't know. I don't even know if the Steelers are going to pick a quarterback. But if the Steelers don't take a quarterback here, where do the Steelers go with this? And maybe that's the most intriguing thing of all. I just don't know. I don't see any.
A.J. Brown signed a 4-year, $100 million extension.
So A.J. Brown already has a deal in place, 4 years, $100 million with the Eagles. Some of these. Oh, here's the Saints pick in. Oh boy! All right, they will not take QB. I could be wrong. I don't think they'll take QB here.
With the 19th pick in the 2022 NFL draft,
oh boy!
The New Orleans Saints select Trevor Penning.
There's Penning. Okay. There's your tackle. So the Steelers are officially on the clock with all quarterbacks available at their disposal. And look, this tells us a lot. This tells us if the Steelers were always, if it was always going to be QB for the Steelers, you will know who the number one quarterback was on their board. You will know right now who the number one QB was on their board. Is it Willis? I've heard a lot of smoke. Is it Pickett? A lot of smoke. Is it Ritter? A lot of smoke. And now the moment's here, 5:55 on the clock. The Steelers have not made their selection. Now, usually they're a quick turn-in when they have their guy. Could this be a move down to acquire more picks? Maybe this receiver run, maybe they were always going to go receiver. Maybe it was all smoke with these quarterbacks and they were going to go receiver, and now this receiver run has changed their plans. This is Colbert's last draft. Is he wheeling and dealing? Is he making moves? Is he on the phone right now making moves? Could he, just for fun, because we're doing this scenario, could he trade Deontay Johnson? You've seen now tonight that Hollywood Brown got traded for a first-round pick. A.J. Brown got traded for a first-round pick. There's some receiver-needy teams late in the game. There are some receiver-needy teams down, and of course, the pick is in for the Steelers, and the perfect time.
Did you just say the picket is in?
Oh, the picket, and the picket is in. No, every year, and correct me if I'm wrong. Every year, when it's a Steelers pick, they go right to commercial, as they are currently. And then they won't talk about it. As soon as Goodell gets to the stage and makes the pick, you might not even see them talk about it or highlights. It'll go right to commercial. We'll see. Now, they're doing commercial before the Steelers pick, so maybe. But this will be very interesting. This is arguably
I'm on Instagram.
the future of the franchise here. If they go quarterback. If they go quarterback here, I don't know what to think. I'm not saying that.
Steelers are going quarterback.
Let's put it this way.
Too much time and money.
If they're not going quarterback, where do they go? Where do the Steelers go if they do not go quarterback here? I mean, the pick's in at this point. My guess is, look, I'm on a Twitter freeze. I am not checking Twitter. So the pick may be in, but I'm not checking it. I'm not checking it.
Oh, I don't know. I'm on.
I don't want to know what it is until Goodell says it out of his fat mouth who the pick is. I don't want to know. I don't want it spoiled for me.
He'll say pick, and I'll be like, and they'll be like,
oh my God. This, like I said, this draft, all these think about all the mock drafts. Think about all the mock drafts that everybody has done. Everybody's done mock drafts. Everybody has done all these mock drafts, and they were all wrong. Nobody saw this big receiver run. There were times where they had a receiver or two together, but they never had a Detroit trading all the way up to get Jamison Williams, who's coming off an ACL. They never had, they never had these like trade ups, and they, a few mock drafts I saw had top players being moved. Like A.J. Brown. In one of the scenarios, I did see A.J. Brown get traded in a mock draft, but only one mock draft. But now it's real. It's happened. He signed a big deal with the Eagles. So, yeah. Like I said, if you're the Steelers, where do you go here if you don't go quarterback? Based on how this has played out, is there anybody worthy defensively at this point to pick at 20? Because the pick's in. They haven't traded the pick. They haven't traded down. They usually don't trade down. But the question is that you almost, given how this is laid out, it almost has to be a quarterback, doesn't it? But who? And that's the bigger question. If it's Pickett, as they say he's the most pro-ready, but have you seen the best of Pickett? If it's Willis, the ultimate boomer bust. And I'm very concerned about the small school, very concerned about the experience, very concerned that he might, he's the rawest prospect of QB that I can remember in some time, if this is the pick. Oh boy, here it's coming. There's nothing that can be done. The terrible towels are out and about in Vegas.
It's gonna be.
Oh,
It's gonna be.
oh God. Franco Ford Harris.
Is he gonna let Franco read it?
Franco gets to read it every year, doesn't he? What's happening here? I love Franco, but they parade him out every year for the pick.
Oh, shut up and tell us who they picked.
Yeah, don't you love it, Raiders fans? Hey, Raiders fans, you remember this little ditty?
My gut's telling me you're right now.
Oh boy.
Tom's flipping his.
This is I mean, look, the most smoke has been Willis. But I really do, I have very big concerns about Willis. And maybe it'd be interesting if Ritter was the first pick. Not that I want him. Here we go.
2022 NFL Draft. The Pittsburgh Steelers select Kenny.
Oh, no! Oh, my God! Oh, my God! Wow! Wow!
That's who they have rated number one.
That's the number one guy. All this smoke. All this smoke about Willis. All the smoke about Willis. Willis being the guy. Willis can be the guy. Willis can be their pick. They had their choice of every quarterback they could take, and Kenny Pickett is the guy. Did he, correct me if I'm wrong, Pitt fan, he worked with Matt Canada
He did.
at Pitt, did he not?
That is correct.
Interesting.
I got it.
Wow.
I got it spoiled for me.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, look, as a story, as the local Pitt kid, is this the Steelers? No, this is a terrible comparison, by the way, other than the fact of the school. Is this the Steelers attempting to make right for the Dan Marino screw-up of 1983? They didn't want to get another Pitt quarterback slide by with potential. Having said that, wow.
I got it spoiled.
Wow. I don't know if this was I'll be honest, the Pickett scenario was very unlikely. I didn't expect the Pickett scenario. The smoke didn't read into the Pickett scenario. The smoke was Malik Willis. It was Malik Willis, and then it was Ritter.
One hit wonder, now we're dead.
No. Wow. Well, I mean, look, the Steelers went QB as everybody thought they would. First QB off the board happens to be.
We just sent our
Now
team back to the 90s.
No,
We
not
had
necessarily.
Stewart.
No, not necessarily. Oh, Patriots trade pick. Chiefs want that receiver. They need another receiver. That's what they're coming up to get.
Who are they reaching for?
Pickens, probably, or who?
Such a reach.
Or who's the other? Sky Moore. He's a Tyreek Hill type, right?
He definitely is.
Wow! Oh wow! Oh wow! Oh wow!
This Ravens fan. What is this Ravens fan? Is they like embarrassing themselves?
I guess.
They said at least they're not taking Malik, and it shows up.
I don't know.
It shows up. It shows a picture of Lamar Jackson
Yeah.
running with TJ Watt
I'm
about
so
to sack
fucking
him.
happy.
Wow. So I mean, it's written. It's the card is in. It's Kenny Pickett, and the hope is, look, you have to hope that, as they said, he's the most pro ready. As they said,
Pickett was 8.
the most, it said if you have the most pro ready quarterback, is that someone that can carry the load. You have concerns about the small hands. Can he hold on to that NFL football with his tiny hands?
I'm about to go play with Ichiro. I'm going.
At this point, I mean, it's done and in. It's Pickett. Pickett was the number one guy on their board. There was a report that came out the other day that said the Steelers, that Pickett was the only quarterback they were considering in the first round, and that they would go offensive tackle, which was more interesting because they have Dan Moore on one side and they just signed Chooks to big money on the other side. But Kenny Pickett is the top guy, the top QB off the board, and Malik Willis is still sitting there.
I think Malik Willis is going to draft.
Oh my goodness. Well, there's
It's just like just lifelong hard work. I can't really put it into words, to be honest with you.
Because your hands are too small. You
Yeah.
can't even figure this out.
the little baby hands.
That's why I don't.
Oh, okay. Well,
I have
wa-
bigger hands.
I have my son has bigger hands than Kenny Pickett. Well, I guess that is it. I wanted to do a quick little live reaction to see how this was going to go. And the Steelers either have drafted their quarterback of the future or the quarterback that set them back
To the 90s.
another few years. But we'll see how that goes. But guys, thanks so much for watching. And lots of videos coming up this weekend, so stay tuned for that. But I will see you soon. Kenny Pickett is the Pittsburgh Steelers QB of the future? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. But guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.
They spent